After losing 16 starters to the NFL following their 2019 national title, the 2020 LSU football team is still filled with loads of talent. Here are the top 5 players that will lead the Tigers in 2020. Number 5, Tyler Shelvin. Returning for a senior season, Shelvin was arguably the Tigers' top defensive lineman in 2019. Racking up 39 tackles, including 3 for a loss, Shelvin was a constant in the trenches for the Tigers, eating up blocks and allowing NFL draftees Patrick Queen and Jacob Phillips to run freely. Under new defensive coordinator Bo Pelini, Tyler Shelvin is expected to be more aggressive rushing the passer in 2020. Number 4, Myles Brennan. When Myles Brennan arrived at LSU as a freshman in 2017, he was rail thin at 182 pounds to go with the 6'4 frame. He had spent time behind Danny Etling and Joe Burrow, but 3 years later it is now his time to lead LSU's offense. Brennan was a top 5 quarterback coming out of Mississippi and figures to keep LSU from suffering a massive drop-off after Burrow was picked first overall by the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 3, Jacoby Stevens. Numbers-wise, Stevens was one of LSU's most productive DBs in 2019, totaling 85 tackles, 8.5 for a loss, 5 sacks, and 3 interceptions. Stevens is not your prototypical safety, displaying the ability to play all over the defense, including as a stand-up pass rusher. Jacoby will continue to be LSU's most vocal leader in 2020. Number 2, JaMarr Chase. As a highly touted freshman out of Rummel, it may not be fair to say Chase's first season in Baton Rouge was disappointing, but it was definitely frustrating. All questions were answered during his sophomore year as Chase totaled 84 catches for 1,780 yards and 20 touchdowns. The yards and touchdowns both led the nation. Chase, of course, burned first-round Clemson corner A.J. Terrell for 220 yards and 2 scores in the national championship game. Heading into the 2020 season, Chase is already being discussed as a top 5 pick and the number 1 overall cornerback in the 2021 NFL Draft. Before we get to number 1, let's take a look at a couple honorable mentions. Provided he stays healthy, Terrace Marshall is a guy that could hear his name called early in the 2021 NFL Draft. With the departure of Patrick Queen and Jacob Phillips, Damone Clark could step in and be the next great LSU linebacker. John Emery, Chris Curry, and Tyrion Davis-Price are all going to have an equal opportunity to step in and replace Clyde Edwards-Helaire. One of those guys could step up and be the workhorse, or you can see all 3 of them split carries. Austin Deculus is a highly experienced right tackle, starting 24 games over his LSU career. And Kerry Vincent is another senior that gives you a lot of versatility in the secondary, with the ability to play multiple positions. Number 1, Derek Stingley Jr. Considered by many as an early first rounder if he was able to declare, Stingley heads into a second collegiate season as one of the most hyped players in program history. As a true freshman, Stingley totaled 6 interceptions and 15 pass breakups. Stingley was ranked as college football's top corner by Pro Football Focus, as well as being their number 1 returning player in the SEC for 2020. Pro Football Focus even went as far to name Stingley as their top returning non-quarterback. Stingley allowed just 25 total yards to Oklahoma and Clemson in last season's college football playoffs, and we still have 2 years of the guy. What other players should have been a part of my list? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hope to see you guys back in the next video. Bye.